No.
Hi.
Hello,
Um,
Snake Eater. Okay, introduce yourself. I know. Introduce yourself. Who are you?
my name is Dark Snake.
Uh-huh.
I am an ambassador in the finals
Sounds
server.
cringe.
I've been playing the finals since the first closed beta.
Also false.
False.
Alright. Alright. How did you discover embark / the finals?
I was sitting on my couch one day watching YouTube videos, and a level cap video came up,
Who the fuck
and
is
it
level cap?
was it was a YouTuber who's played Battlefield.
Okay.
And he talked about how there was like a new FPS game that was being made by the old Battlefield devs, and it was based on like a game show.
Which was a bad game.
And shut up.
Okay, continue.
He basically played a like a tournament with I think it was like Matimio and then like some embark dev, and basically like he just like recorded it, put in like the long run content, and just like was talking about like it was back like when all those YouTubers played closed beta 1 and
But the
and
game
like
was
everybody
better.
like, showing up. There was a few things that I liked about that time over where the game is now, but I do think the game has gotten better for the most part. But yeah, that's pretty much how I learned about the game.
Okay. Why was TA a good change?
So probably the number one thing that I've seen people complain about in main chat is that they hate being third partied.
They complain about
And-
everything though.
They do, that is true. But I know people really don't like being third-partied, and there's a lot of nuances about cashout that are very difficult for newer players to pick up on. It's one of those things where it's like, if you've been playing since like the early closed betas, then you've played so many rounds of cashout that it's like you just know how to play the mode, and it's like second nature. But for brand new people coming into it, it's incredibly difficult, and the general consensus that I saw from people is that cashout just wasn't a good ranked mode, that it needed pretty serious changes to be good. Whether or not that was like the opinion that like everybody like as a whole had, it was definitely the opinion that most of the people like talking and on the Discord, like in the feedback channels, like were saying.
Mhm.
And it was basically that like it just wasn't fit for ranked. So basically it's like no, now I can't even think.
Go.
No, I gotta think. You made me lose my train of thought.
Oh
All right,
my god.
dude, you did this to me.
Just think.
So basically, the old mode, just the way cash out was, it just wasn't fit for ranked. So they needed to do something drastic though, because they had stuff in the closed betas and the open betas, and people said their thoughts on it. Then season 1 came out, and people were like still kind of having the same general ideas. They definitely added some improvements, but the mode still wasn't like fully being well received. I think it was one of those things where it was like the silent majority of people liked the mode, but I mean, me as somebody who loves cash out will even acknowledge there are some issues with the mode that made it a little bit less suitable for ranked, for a competitive ranked experience that's like as fair as possible. So and I think Embark definitely knew this, and I think they had this in mind for season 1 and 2, and then after that, I think they were in a position where they needed to do something to like try to make a more fair ranked experience. And I think Terminal Attack delivers on it, because as much as people don't like Terminal Attack, or at least the people in this main chat who don't like it, it's a really fair mode.
But you're really
Like,
bad at it.
I have
Like you're very bad at it. I've seen you play.
I've pretty much teetered between gold 4 and gold 2.
Have you not got
and-
diamond yet this season?
Shut up. No, I haven't.
Why haven't you got diamond yet?
It's hard, man.
No, it's
Well,
not.
the problem is, the reason why is because like I had like all these people who I played with for like
And then we all quit.
early for cash out. Like I had all like these channels, I had all these groups that I would play with, so I could always find a 3-stack for a cash out in season 1 and 2. And then when the new changes happened, just everybody bailed it out. It broke my heart, honestly, but it was like everyone bailed out, and then it was like I just couldn't find like those same groups. So it's like I've had to solo queue. Now I will say solo queue is way easier. It is way easier to solo queue in 5v5 versus 3v3v3v3. But like it's so hit or miss. Like I'll have some like random teams where it's like I totally vibe with this squad and we'll do really well, and then I'll have teams where I'm like throwing my hands up in the air and I'm just like, how can you be so terrible at an FPS game?
Shit.
So it's like it's a bit frustrating. So I haven't gotten past Gold 2 yet, but like I don't know. I'll get there. I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay, should they bring back ranked cash out?
I would argue that
Be
it
careful
is
how you say
still
this.
here. Yeah, I know. I know you're about to put all this out of context in like one of those YouTube shorts. I would argue to a degree it's still in the game in the form of like World Tour. I know a lot of people don't consider World Tour as ranked, but I personally see World Tour as like an experiment and basically trying to turn cash out into a more competitively viable mode. And the thing that I do really like about it is that you don't lose anything for failing. So you're not penalized for solo queuing and just like getting completely destroyed. And you're not penalized for just like dominating the first part of round and then you just get third partied and you lose a 22k and the next thing you know it's just you lost the whole match. Like you got third place and you didn't go to the next round.
Yeah, but that's fair to say skill issue.
I mean, it is a skill issue, but I think it's nice that you have the kind of the buffer that you don't need to get so stressed about it.
Guy, an official ambassador is calling you skill issue.
For the record,
all you light players.
The words skill issue.
All you light players.
I will say there are some terrifying light players.
You mean terrible light players?
Okay, well, okay, I'll say this. When I go up against a light player, they're either an easy kill, or they will literally kill me the entire lobby, and I will literally be like calling for whatever weapon they're using to be nerfed.
That's fair. Yeah, anything
like,
else to say about cash out, or you're good?
I mean, I think it will eventually return as ranked because it is largely the mode that the finals is built off of. Regardless if that's how Embark intended it to be, that's just how it is. People just like have fallen in love with the cash out mode. And truthfully, it's a good mode because it takes I think a lot of the strong points of other very popular game modes and a lot of other popular games like Apex, and I think it puts an arena shooter spin on it in a way that just gives it a unique feel. Like, I'm somebody who hates Battle Royale games. Like, I do not jive with Battle Royale at all.
Because you're bad at Apex.
But, shut up. But I do suck at Apex. But I loved the finals from my very first match. So it's like, I think Cash Out is truly something special, and I do think it's kind of the main flagship mode. So I think it's one of those things where it's like, they need to take some of the strong suits of terminal attack and figure out how to incorporate it. Like, for me, the biggest thing is, I think having 2 teams is honestly the best, like, system for a ranked mode. I just don't think ranked works with 4 teams in the manner that it is. It's confusing and just it can be incredibly frustrating. So honestly, I think if they take the cash out format and then somehow turn it into a 5v5 format, or at least a 2-team format, even if it's just like the final round of a tournament, like with quick cash rules, where it's just like 2 teams and it's like first to deposit 2 cash outs. Even if they somehow figure out how to make that work with the tournament format, I honestly think that'd be better. But I think that's what the community wants. Because again, like, cash out is honestly like the bread and butter of like the game.
Oh, bread, your butter.
Is that gonna make it in the final cut?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, no.
This is a genuine question. Why are you bad at the finals?
Why am I bad at the finals?
Yeah, why are you terrible?
Alright, okay. I honestly think it comes down to playtime.
Like, why are you such a skill issue?
Typically, people who are good at the finals are people who put in the hours.
Okay.
Just logically speaking.
And who are those people?
And I would say a lot of pretty much anybody who's on the top 500 leaderboard, I think those are all people who put in quite a bit of hours.
Do you think they have felt the touch of a woman?
Well, considering some of them might be women, I would assume. But, yeah, that's a great question. I'm sure at least a quarter of them.
This is keeping, this is staying.
I can't believe you asked that.
Okay, next question. Why are you an embark simp?
Because I've fallen in love with that dev team, basically.
Also because you never felt the touch of a woman.
It's no, it's basically I have seen very few dev teams that have shown as much care as they do. I get an impression
That's
that they
based.
actually I get an impression that they actually want the game to succeed, not for like monetary reasons, but because they're a bunch of guys who just love FPS games and want to make something cool. Just in general, I'm somebody who I like a lot of their previous works too. I played Battlefield 3 and 4 a bunch, and those games were like my childhood.
Okay.
So it's like for me, like the DNA of those games I see in the finals, even though they play completely differently, but it's just like you can kind of just tell that the feel is there. And it's like for me it's just like it's just nostalgia. And it's like after like Battlefield 5, I think Battlefield just completely dropped, and I think it's because those developers weren't there. And the fact that they went over to Embark and that they decided to make this passion project and that they actually listened to the community, and that I'm fortunate enough to and that I'm fortunate enough to even be an ambassador for that community. It's like honestly, I just think it's just a goated team, and it's just I have nothing but respect, and it's just I really want that like that whole studio. I just want them to succeed. Even if it's like I just can't play the finals anymore just because it's like work or just commitments, or I'm not able to put in as many hours as I'm able to now. Even then, I just want that studio to succeed because I'm just like, they're my childhood, man. It's like I just want them to win and make a great game.
That's a bit. All right, next question. What's your favorite weapon?
Ooh, favorite weapon.
Yep. What's your favorite weapon?
Probably the flamethrower.
That's crazy.
It's not like the weapon that I use the most. I'm mostly an AK player.
Cringe.
The flamethrower, I have a soft spot in my heart because it's back in like CB2. I was playing with one of the heavies in our group, and I was like, "Hey, we should just like play triple flamethrowers next match." And this is like before flamethrower anyone really used flamethrower because it was just a niche weapon. And we were like, okay, so we played like triple charge slam flamethrower, and we won like 12 games of cash out in a row. We were getting like over like 12 kills a game on average. Like it was just completely insane. And it was like I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for that weapon just because I remember those days. But it's just a fun weapon. Like for me, it's just like the satisfaction of just hosing people down with fire in a video.
That's fucked up. All right, boys. Official Embark ambassador supports arson.
No, I do not.
He also supports burning people against the Geneva Convention.
No, I do not. I should say though that I did play Pyro in Team Fortress.
See, he's a fucking maniac.
No!
Somebody fire this man from the ambassador team.
Jag, I swear.
Alright, what's the most broken weapon in your opinion?
Most broken weapon?
Yeah, what's the most broken weapon in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think the XP.
That's crazy.
And the reason why, it's largely going to come down to the fact that I'm mostly playing Terminal Tech right now. But even in like cash out, a good XP player can just like wreck. Because it's like it does really good at close range. It does really good at medium range. It can do like hit and run tactics with it, and it's like you can melt people so quickly with that thing because it has very easy to control recoil. And it's one of those things where it's like, I think it's always been as powerful as it is, because it's like I was going through footage of like early season 1, and I was like, I had clips of dominating people with that thing. But it's like, I think because light just has always like been a lesser used class because it's more nuanced and it requires a higher level of skill. I think it's one of those things where it's like not that many people have used it, so it just hasn't seemed that powerful. But I think it's just I've gotten destroyed by that thing in games, and there's just no downsides to using it. Like,
would
if
you
you
say
look
you're
at
a skill issue?
Yes, I would say I'm a skill issue.
Okay.
The throwing knives is the only thing that I think realistically like rivals the XP.
Mm.
Because you can melt people up close, like heavies and mediums, you can kill probably some of the. I haven't timed it, but probably some of the faster TTKs. At least it feels like that.
You
But
know,
at the very least, with the swords, it's more difficult to hit moving targets.
you know
While
what
with
you
the
haven't
XP, it's
melted?
too. What?
A woman's heart.
Oh man, bro, that one's that's a low blow, man.
uh, I'm great.
Why are we friends?
I don't know. Alright, Snake.
Yeah.
Give me a hot take. Absolutely hot take. Like that would probably piss off main Chad,
Oh.
which is really easy because Vic's there.
Oh yeah, Sword Art Online is my favorite anime.
A hot take on the finals. You you dumb.
Yeah, I know. It's just that does get people riled up.
Nah,
Okay, no, I got it. It is my personal belief that the RPG should be able to one-shot lights.
that's crazy.
Because, and here's why. I think the reason why Light is in a weird place right now is because it's either OP or underpowered. And it's because what they need to do is make Light have its power, make it so its guns are all good, but then make it so that there's a logical counter. Like, a sword Light isn't going to be oppressive on terminal attack if they have to be mindful about a heavy player who can simply bring an RPG and destroy them. And as much as, like, I understand that as a Light player, you get RPG'd a few times in a round and it sucks. I totally understand it because it's happened to me. But it's like, if you actually play heavy with the RPG, it's not as easy as everyone in main chat makes it. Like, everyone makes it seem like it's the easiest thing in the world, but it's like, it's a projectile. It honestly doesn't move that fast. It doesn't have that big of an instant kill radius. And it's like, a Light is a really hard target to hit. If you play Light correctly, you should never get hit by an RPG. You should be dashing. If you should be dashing to the. If you're playing dash, you should literally be like borderline impossible to hit.
But they nerfed dash.
Still though, like you have it's so difficult to track a good Light player.
Okay.
Like somebody who actually knows how to use dash. Some of them are some of the best players I've gone up against. And if you're using invis, then you should be smart enough not to be like visible out in the open to the point where an RPG can kill you. I one-shot kill myself with the RPG more than one-shot killing Lights. Like back before they brought the damage down, and even now I kill myself with the RPG more than enemies. Like it's just one of those things where it's like I think the way that they're looking at balance in the game is that everybody has like their preferred class, and it's really everyone's just like buff my class and nerf everything else. So like it's just unequal. Like I think heavy gets a really like hard rap. And then people wonder why heavy isn't all that useful in terminal attack, because all of its weapons have been nerfed to the like ground. I think that just because a bunch of diamond players think that something is too easy is not a good enough reason for it to be like nerfed.
That's crazy.
But that is just my 2 cents.
All right, final question. This is a big question. Why don't you have a girlfriend yet?
You better leave these questions in the final.
Of course, bro. Pissing off everybody, I suppose.
Oh, why don't I have a girlfriend?
Yeah, why don't you have a girlfriend?
I'm just not a very sociable person. I mean, like,
that's crazy.
Like part of the reason I even joined the Discord was because I wanted to learn how to talk to people better.
That's crazy.
And get more comfortable with like breaking the ice and like.
I'll break your ice.
Shut up. It has been helpful. Like I started like my internship and like there's like people there and it's like I didn't struggle like going up and talking to them just because like I've been on
how does this correlate
international Discord server
to why you don't have a girlfriend?
Because I said my reasoning. I'm not a very sociable person.
Just get a girlfriend, forehead.
Get a what?
Just get a girlfriend.
Easier said than done.
Ah, you're a baby. Alright, dark_snake. Thank you for the interview. It was a pleasure. Even though we talk to each other every day. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, no problem, man. I hope your video is successful.
It's gonna flop so hard.
Yep.
Alright, I love you, Snakey.
Love you too.